Oh my gosh. See, here we go. Already, see? Already. Now you can hear my mic, right? Oh my gosh. Starting off frustrated already. Sorry guys. All I was saying was I see that I have excellent connection and stuff right now. Hopefully everything is just fantastic this week because I know that I laid that bomb on you guys last week. So I don't know what happened and stuff. I spent extra time this week making sure that everything works. So, like I say, let me know in the chat if stuff is still not working. But for the most part, we should be good. Now, I'm going to jump right in and stuff because I've got a lot to cover and stuff with you guys today. I know that football and everything is supposed to be starting tonight at 7 o'clock right now, but I'm sure they're going to do a lot of pregame stuff, all this stuff, so we should be good. I mean, I'm only going to keep you for about an hour, go over a few things, let you know what's going on, and then I'll let you go. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for being here who is here. Thank you so much for coming through, and let's go ahead and jump in to what was last week. So last weekend I was at the Cotton Press. I had a double header weekend. So I was at the Cotton Press, brand new venue. I had never been at this venue before, and it was nice. It was nice on the inside. Everything looked great. They have different levels to it, and it goes kind of far down and stuff, down some stairs. But the ceremony and everything can be done outside. You can actually have a tent out there if you want to. They had a tent as backup out there, but it was a nice venue. I had my setup and everything to look like this, and I think this is becoming my go-to setup. This is my basic setup here. Whenever I use the facade, I think this is going to be what we use for the rest of the year until I get a little over this and stuff as well. But I think this is going to be it going forward. This packs a lot of punch. This gives any size crowd that I may have, whether it be small or whether it may be large. I don't have to worry about it. These speakers, the Maui 44 G2s, they handle it. They handle it like a champ. So I never have to worry about sound and everything. And then the microphone that I have, the Shure QLX D4, is absolutely fantastic. So this setup right here is my go-to setup. And I absolutely love it. So let's talk a little bit about the wedding. So the wedding and everything was absolutely fantastic. Now, here's one of the things that made it fantastic. What made it go off like it did was the vendor team. And I cannot stress enough that if you are not in touch with your vendors, if you do not befriend your vendors, if you do not communicate with your vendors, you are really missing out. You have to talk to your vendors. Let me tell you a good reason why. When the videographer, the photographer, and the coordinator are all friends of yours, everything runs by so smoothly, because guess what? When they are not there, when those three people, you don't know them and you don't say anything to them, you actually, part of you becomes them. I mean, you could become a coordinator and stuff at some functions that don't have one. If you don't have like a rapport with the videographer and photographer, you won't be able to make sure that they're in the room to capture certain moments. And working with people that you know and that you've done many shows with, it's almost like you guys develop a type of rhythm. This picture that's up on the screen and everything right now, this was a group photo, I think towards the end of the wedding, because they have on the glasses and everything. But this is what one of my favorite photographers, she took this photo, and coordinating this could have been a nightmare. It really could have, but we got everybody to do it. And these people, you got to remember now, they've been drinking and everything. So this was a well coordinated photo and everything here. Also with the some of the changes and stuff that were happening, throughout the coordinator, she and her team were absolutely fantastic. Every change she had, she texted me, she let me know, and we were just keeping in touch, and she didn't even have to come over to me. It was just so seamless. You guys don't understand how important it is for you to be, build rapport and stuff with your vendors. Now, I only had one hiccup and stuff, and it was the ending. So this is how we sent off the bride and groom and everything. Here you see we got the cold sparks and everything going, and it looks fantastic. The photographer hooked me up, and I told her ahead of time that I wanted to get a great shot for advertisement purposes, and I did. I also captured it on video as well. But I had the cold sparks inside initially, and we didn't it was supposed to be a surprise for the bride, and it was given to her by the coordinator because she used to work on the coordinator's team, but it was supposed to be a gift for her, and I set everything up, and we were supposed to go ahead and do it and stuff on the inside for like their first dance, and right before we were about to start, like maybe 20 minutes before we were about to start, something just told me just to say, to let the venue person know that, we appreciate them letting us use the cold sparks and everything inside. And the owner said, what? Cold sparks? No, whoa. We can't do cold sparks and stuff in this venue. This is a historical venue. Like, no cold sparks. You can't do it. And I'm like, oh crap, I've already got them set up. I've got the tape down on the floor so nobody trips over the cord, and she was adamant about me making sure I get that tape up. Like when you guys see the gig log for this one, because it was so amazing, you're gonna want to see the gig log for that one. You're gonna see that I highlighted that I couldn't tape down any wires because they didn't allow for gaff tape on the floor, so because it would pill up the finish. So I couldn't tape down, and I had to get the cold sparks out of there. So I asked her if we could use it for outside, and she said yeah. So this was the final verdict, or the final picture and stuff here of the night. I am very pleased with it. I will be using this for advertisements for upcoming brides, for that part. And like I said, I recorded it video wise as well, so if they need a visual and stuff of it, that's what I'll be using. And see, this is why rapport with your vendors is so important, because of stuff like this. They give you great stuff like this. I mean, look at that. That is perfect. What bride's not gonna want cold sparks after seeing that, So I wanted to talk to you guys about a few awkward moments and stuff that were had at the event. And would love to know how you guys would handle these awkward moments. Now, we had a couple of moments where, and this kind of happened in both events. I'll go over the first one. The first one, we had an issue where the mom, she was in a wheelchair, but her son wanted her really to come out and dance, and she had an issue and stuff with the event itself. And I was told to call out the mom and his grandma at the same time, just in case the mom decided she didn't want to get up. And so, I don't know, I just felt kind of awkward, because I knew that if the mom didn't get up, it was going to be like this awkward pause. And, if I say, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, our groom is going to come back to the dance floor, and we're going to have our mother-son dance, and mother-grandmother dance, or mother-nana dance, nana-son dance. And I already knew that was either going to sound awkward, or it was going to be an awkward pause. And so what I did was I said the mother-son dance, and it was that little pause there, but I just started playing the music. I don't know, my instinct just kicked in and said, go ahead and start playing the music. So I played it, and, the groom was kind of signaling the mom to come on, and it just wasn't happening. Then the groom's brother kind of wheeled the mom out there, and his nana came up also, and they both just kind of did like a group hug thing, which in the end was great. But it was like that was given to me like right before the ceremony started, so I'm just like, oh, like this is going to be a terrible freakiest moment. But it actually ended up not being that bad. But to get last minute things like that, you just never know. You never know how that's going to turn out. If I didn't start playing the music, it would have just been dead silence with the groom, me waiting on the mom to come up to the floor, and a whole room of people just kind of looking around like, ooh, so like I said, it was just instinct to go ahead and press that button and just keep going. Just keep pressing forward. That's all you could really do. Then in round two, the wedding that I had the very next day, the brother of the groom, he kind of showed himself, the night before during the rehearsal dinner, and he was actually uninvited to the wedding. And I didn't know this did not come up in any meeting. I didn't know that there was an issue with a brother. Again, right before I'm about to start the ceremony, I was told this information. And then I was also told that even though he was uninvited to the wedding, that he was in the living room of the old house that we were in. He was in the living room. And I'm like, well, if he's here, is that going to be an issue? And they said, we hope not. And I'm like, hope? Like, we got a whole wedding going on here. And then they come and tell me that he wants to be announced. And then they didn't have enough bridesmaids to go with groomsmen because he had exited. And it was just a crazy situation. But he ended up, letting it ride, and he didn't show out or anything like that. But again, that was just another awkward moment, because if he would have did anything crazy or left, there was nothing I could do. All I could do is call out the name and move forward. That's all I could do, because we were in the middle of intros, and that was the only time that I had to really recognize him. But he was in the wedding. He was the co-best man. We had to write him in, literally pencil him in as the co-best man. So that was interesting. That was the two awkward moments that I have of the weekend. But both events went over pretty well, in my opinion. Some of the things that were successful in the first wedding, I know that you hear DJs talk about this all the time. They always are talking about quick mixing. And let me just tell you, if you are a DJ, and I know that I'm going to rub some people wrong when I say this, but I'm sorry. Look, I'm just going to tell you straight up, okay? If you're a DJ that plays whole songs and stuff, you've got to change that. There is no way you're surviving and charging what you should be charging if you play whole songs. And I'm not saying whole songs as if there are no songs that you can't play the whole song of, because of course there are some songs that you're gonna want to play the whole thing of. But most songs, like, I want you guys type this in the chat for me, okay? On average, how many songs do you play per wedding? Now, when I say per wedding, I mean once the dance floor opens, how many songs do you play? And then once I get some people in the chat to tell me how many, I want you to be honest. I'm not going to bash you or anything like that. I'm not going to call you out. I'm not going to bring your name up on the screen or anything like that. But in the chat, I just want you to tell me how many of you play whole song. Well, you don't have to say play whole songs. How many songs do you play during the dance portion of a wedding? And then I'm going to tell you how many I play. But quick mixing is so important because it allows you to get in way more songs than just a normal event. Think about this. Most of the couples that I talk to, you know why they have a do not playlist? They have a do not playlist only exists. A do not playlist only exists if for two reasons. One, if there's explicit language that they just don't want played in there, or two, because they've heard it a million times at everybody's wedding and they're just tired of hearing it. Those are the only two reasons. So I usually ask when I see, because I use Vibo, and I have a section of Vibo that I use to put a do not play section. And I usually ask them, why did you put that song down in the do not play? Do you just not like it? Or, have you heard it a million times? Like, why did you put that down there? And I can tell you 9 out of 10 times is because they've heard it at every single wedding. And they say that, they've heard the whole song of it. It's always played and they're just tired of it. This is exactly why I make sure that I get different versions of songs, because if you can quick mix and give them another side of a song, you can actually reintroduce that song out to them. So I'll give you an example. One of the examples is I play Ain't No Mountain High, Respect, and September. Okay, most of you guys probably play these 3 songs. I'm just giving these examples. Most of you guys probably play those 3 songs, but I don't play the original version of any of these 3. None. I will not. I'm not gonna say I will not. I usually don't. It is more of a rarity that I play the original version of the song, and it is more common that I play the different version of the song. Now I make sure that it still stays within the guidelines of the audience that I play for. You guys have seen my gig logs, so you know that that extra little drum or that extra little something in the song is what changes that song a little bit. It gives it a new identity. So either a redrum or a I don't like clap openers. Clap openers are terrible. But a redrum or just a different spin on it. Like it's like I have a house version of September that allows you to do more singing of the song, and it highlights more of the chorus of the song, because that's really what people sing. If you look at people when they dance or sing to September, they are usually singing that first little verse until it gets to the chorus, and then after that, nobody knows usually what the song says after that. So I have a version of it that highlights those parts of it, and I think that is the route that most DJs should be going, because I think it's what separates me from some of the other DJs that are in my market. And I can tell you right now that this first wedding, the bride told me multiple times, like I'll probably say she came up to me about 3 or 4 times, and she said, this is the best time I've had at a wedding. Like, the DJ is killing it, the music is fantastic and stuff like that. Like, we're getting engaged, and we want to definitely use him. And the main thing that I'm doing on here is I'm just gliding through songs. Like, it's a seamless night. You get a break where you get a break. I'm just moving the night right along, and it's just easy. Even the groom came up to me and he was just like, all right, what's the next level? Like you've already taken us on this ride. What's the next level? And I'm like, oh, we still got an hour. So, like, trust me, right around the corner is what you're looking for. And it just, it's just a fantastic feeling, but it just helps couples and people recognize your talent. And I'm not saying you have to scratch. If you could just beat match. It's mainly about beat matching. So if you guys follow me on IG, you'll see that a lot of my reels have, some of them scratch, some of them have beat matching and stuff in it, but it allows for just a different flavor. Like, I just did a reel that has jump around from Cypress Hill at the end of it, and then right towards the end of it, I bring in an acapella version of It's About Damn Time by Lizzo, and it just blends seamlessly, and it just keeps going, and people are singing, people are like, oh my God, like, this is, you know what I'm saying? And you're just giving them a different version of it. And so that's why I say that quick mix is important here. So let me look at the comments. Let me see how many of you throw in some songs, and then I'll tell you how many my last wedding I played. So T Reed, you've got 35 to 40. We've got 50. We've got between 50 75. We got 40 or 50. We've got 63. Hard to gauge, but why average about no more than 2 minutes per song. That's usually the break. Heck, my last 6 few weddings been trapped out, and I don't play them songs at all. Okay, so I think the last wedding the last wedding was Sunday. On Saturday, I believe I played 125 songs. And that was in a 2.5 hour time frame. That's what I was given. And then in an hour and a half, I played about 70 to 85 songs, something like that, something around that number, because I was given like an hour and a half and stuff. So, and I know that probably seems like, what? Like, there's no way you trust me. I highlight songs and I move on. Highlight, move on. And like I said, that took practice. That took trial and error. I tested out a couple of different things that I don't normally do at weddings. I test out a couple of things when I'm on my, S11 and the mixes and stuff over there. I just test out music to see what happens. So I do play a lot. I play a lot of music. When you guys see these gig logs, you're only seeing a portion of the music. It's because, if I put all the music and stuff that I played in there, the gig logs would be long. It would be long gig logs. So that's why I do that. But these are like quick edits, like short edits. Like, I love to go on BPM Supreme and get a quick edit. I don't need the whole song. I don't always need it. Like, I'll download both of them, but in the playlist, you're getting the quick edit. Unless it's a sing along, then of course I'll play the whole song, and slow songs. I play the whole slow song of slow songs. And then because we're in the South, we have a thing called shag. You can't cut those off. You can't chop those up anyway. You just, it's just a type of dance and stuff that's around here. So you play whole songs of those. So, sing alongs, shags, and slow songs are the main songs, that you would play whole songs for. Other than that, just about everything else can be chopped up. And the way that I'm doing alternative rock music right now, I'm actually blowing my own mind. I am bringing, and we'll talk about music and stuff in just a little bit. I am bringing alternative rock stuff back to my sets and highlighting the ones that are the most popular. I don't know about you. I get a laugh every time I do this. This is how I gauge whether or not I can play alternative rock. I play the song Santeria. I play that during dinner. And if I see people singing to that song or nodding back and forth or rocking back and forth, I know that I can get away with just about all my alternative rock stuff that I have. That's my gauger. I use that song as the gauge. And you guys can use whatever song you like. I just found that Santeria is not a bad song for dinner, and people love it. One guy was, he was over there doing all the drums and all this. he kept pointing at me and saying, dude, this is awesome. It's dinner music. And I'm like, yeah, it's just dinner. Like, this is just dinner stuff. So I'm always tweaking my dinner music and stuff like that, because I don't want like the traditional stuff that I, used to play. I'm so different now than I was when I first really started, because I used to just be all push button and let go and songs play and blend themselves and all that stuff. And now, of course, I do so much behind the board. Like, I don't think I get, so what do they call it? Serato face. I don't think I get that. I don't ever look up and let me stop that. Not that I don't ever. It's more of a rare thing now for me to look up and wonder what to play next. Like, I usually go with the flow of the night, and sometimes I get a little frustrated that I didn't even get into the parts I wanted to. But I mean, I go up, down. I go old, new, old, new, old, new. And I have sections and stuff that I play certain stuff in. I mean, I've organized it to a T. I mean, my crates are like, for each wedding, it's set up like intros and formals and dinner backgrounds and opening dance set and main dance set and don't forget section and slow song section and closing section. You know, I've got all that in, you know, my wedding stuff. So I've got a lot to deal with and stuff behind that board, pretty much. Romeo Gray, speaking of gig logs, do you find that gig logs should be redirected? For example, should it be more focused on situations and conditions or different that are different from the regular gig logs? I think that you can sprinkle that in. I mean, I've tried different directions. I've tried different happenings and stuff, different circumstances and stuff at events. I've tried placement. I've tried making placement gig logs. I've tried making equipment issue gig logs. I've tried making a lot of different type of gig logs, but I think the ones that you guys learn from the most is just how to keep going. When I say keep going, like keep the dance floor going. Those seem to be my most popular ones, the ones that people stay on the dance floor more, and I don't have like 5 people on the dance floor. Like I've got a packed dance floor and these people are loving it. It's like, that's where I get most of my feedback and stuff from. The ones that have issues and stuff, yeah, that's great to click on. But once I tell you what the issue and stuff is, people are like, oh, you know, and they're like, oh, okay. And they just move on. So I think that just showing how to keep, really just showing how to DJ, just how to keep the dance, the momentum and stuff on the dance floor just going. I think those are the better gig logs, are the ones that are watched the most, if I had to say. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things here, because I did have a couple more issues and stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. So, and I think this is what, let me see. Yeah, this is what Sunday's setup looks like. So the alternative to the other setup, this is Sunday's setup. You know, I was up on that stage and I still got the 2 totems, but I could put the speakers down on the floor. So that's that setup. I like that one pretty well too. All right. So I love this picture. This picture. I love this picture. Let's talk about drunk request, because I had an issue with this on both nights. So let's talk about drunk requests real quick. Now, I don't mind people coming up and requesting. I don't at all. Usually most people's request is right along or right in line with what I'm already doing. But the most annoying request is from somebody who is intoxicated. Because not only are they some of the most aggravating people, it's like, I don't know, they become super entitled and they want you to not only play the song, but play the song right now. Like, and then if you don't play it and if they don't hear it after a couple of songs, they come back up to the booth and they're like, I thought you were going to play la, 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 la. And I'm like, I am, but just, you know, give me a second. They don't want to hear that. They want the song on now. Don't care how the rhythm, how the flow and everything goes. They don't care about none of that stuff. And so this past weekend, I had another iteration and stuff of that, just a different variation of the drunk request. So a young lady came up to me and she says, and I hate this one because it's like, do you or do you? So you guys tell me in the comments what you do here. So what happens is the girl will come up and she'll say, hey, the bride wants you to play this song or that song or this song, and Like, she loves that kind of song. That was like the song when we were growing up, and it's fantastic. It'll really get the dance floor going, and if she was to turn around right there, she would see that the dance floor is already going. Anywho, she's like, this is a song. Like, the bride wants you to play this song, and I'm thinking to myself, if the bride wanted me to play that song, again, I use Vibo ahead of time. So this is when the bride's sober. She's picking music. She's picking 70, 80, 100 songs. That song wasn't on that playlist. If that was that important, why isn't it on the playlist? So I'm thinking, this is what this girl must remember. The bride don't care. Well, the bride's out there having a good time. But drunk requests like that, and those girls, because if you don't play it right away, those are the ones that'll come up to you and say, "Hey, what about my song? What about the song I asked you about? The bride wants you to play it now." And I'm like, can you, please just let me do my job, just please. I mean, your job is really just to kick back and enjoy the music. What gets me about this is if you go to a club, and I haven't been to a club in quite some time, but if you go to a club and the DJ's, up high and stuff like that, you're not trying to get up to the DJ and tell him, hey, he better play that and stuff now. So why, just because you have floor access to me, why are you kind of in my space? Just let me just kind of do what I need to do. It's so aggravating. I even thought about getting some of those movie theater line barrier things and just putting it around my DJ set, but they would probably just knock it down and stuff anyway. They'll probably never do it, but it's almost like this picture and stuff right here, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, I really want to have this attitude and stuff when they come up there, because I'm telling you, it's like, I'm sober, I'm up there, I'm doing my thing, relaxed. I'm not, worried about the next song. I don't mind taking a request. If you say, hey, do you got Usher and this or that? Yeah, sure, I'll play it. Okay, and walk off. That's how it should be. But no, not these people. These guys love to come up and just nag it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, please leave me alone. I can't stand it. So you guys tell me how you guys handle drunk request, because I know you do. All of us do. If you're in this profession, you're in the wedding profession, there's no way you have not encountered one of these yet. But let me know in the chat how you guys handle drunk requests, because they are always somebody there, somebody who can't hold the liquor, or somebody who should have been cut off 3 drinks ago, somebody who runs to the bar when I call last call. They're always that person. Now, if the bride and groom come up to me and they're tipsy and stuff like that, and they ask that, no problem, no worries, you got it. But man, when these guests come up to me, I want to do this. These guests come up to me, I want to do this. So it's just crazy. But let's see what you guys say here. When drunk request happens the second time, I tell them I already played it. The drunks they give in. Unfortunately, they always think we should take requests. Too bad. We have mentality what happens in the night club. I use POPL for my digital business cards, and I can print out a QR code. They can scan and see my info, and also have instant message service so they can make their request. It's hard telling an intoxicated person to go do that, though. But I see what you're saying, DJ G5. I gave them a clipboard. You know what's crazy about what you said, DJ CeeLo? I used to do that before I would use my phone. When I was DJing kids events, and kids are worse than drunk adults. Kids would, could you come up and do this? Oh, can I come up and do this? I literally used to have a clipboard and tell you you got to write it down. And because they're all requesting the same thing. But it's funny you say that, because I used to do that. DJ G5, you point right to the code. Classic. Oh man. Um. So yeah, that's just one of those things that are truly aggravating about that. So another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is that I have a slight issue with, and really I probably shouldn't have an issue with it, but I just wonder what goes through some couples' head when they do this. So when I do a sit down and I do my Zoom meeting with these couples, and we talk about music, and people are like super hyped. People are like, oh man, I can't wait. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And they're like, oh man, I'm going to dance all night. I'm just going to do this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay. So we get to the night and the reception starts and the bride and groom are gone. And then I'm hitting some highlight moments. Crowd's going crazy. Is the bride and groom out there? Bride and groom gone. And I know they're probably taking pictures or something somewhere. Or I see them like in a corner being talked to by a guest and stuff. So let me go back to this wedding right here. Let's see. Right here. Because at this wedding, that's exactly what happened. Now, I have been waiting to do this young lady's wedding and stuff here, and I know she had been waiting too. Now, I don't know, what she had to deal with. I have no idea. In this instance, I don't want to know. But for the most part, I was just trying to figure out, if it's your night and it's, the reception is your gift to your guest. Because ceremony is, you guys' gift, the bride and groom, but then the reception is your gift to your guest. So if it's a gift you're trying to give them, are you just giving them that and you are there to talk? I never understood that, why brides are over, and it's brides and grooms. They're over like chatting it up with people who they see all the time, or maybe even uncles and aunts and friends that have come out of town. It's like, you're missing the whole show, the entire show. Like you are, you wanted this song play, and I can't hold back and stuff forever because I've got a crowd that's ready to go. I've got a crowd that is ready to have a good show, and I'm entertaining them, and I don't know. I just feel some type of way sometimes that the bride and groom are not getting their full worth out of these shows and stuff like that when they're not enjoying the show, when they're off to the side or they're out taking pictures. With pictures usually don't take that long. Most photographers are pretty good by that. They'll grab them for sunset pictures and bring them right back in. But like when people have pulled them to the side instead of letting them have a good time, it's like, what? I think brides and grooms should be like off to, like, if you're going to talk to the bride and groom, talk to them, stay into the end, or talk to them when they're up right after dinner. Or brides and grooms, if you are on this listening, I think right after the ceremony, this one young lady did something perfect. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. What she did was she, right after the ceremony, her and the groom stood at the front door where everybody would walk in to go to cocktail hour. And they did pretty much a meet and greet right there. Oh, hey, Aunt Susan, thank you for coming. Hey, Uncle Jerry, thank you for coming. Hey, yeah, it's great to see you guys. Thank you for coming. Blah, 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 all this stuff. I thought it was brilliant because what that allowed her to do was, after she did that, she had already shook everybody's hands, said hey to everybody. Only thing you can say to the bride now is, okay, thanks for coming. I mean, we're going to go ahead and take off, and she'll say thanks for coming, and she stays on the dance floor. I thought it was amazing. I always recommend to my brides that situation if they can do it, and nobody has ever taken advantage of it. But it's like, I guess I just don't understand sometimes, why why these guys don't take full advantage of these dance floors. I don't get it. Let me look at the chat real quick. I used to say that's on the bride and the groom that playlist, but that backfires. I hate the ones that go to the bride and groom when you don't play this. Oh yeah. Oh, hating that. I hate that too. Like to talk and walk around the mic all night. She's oh no, nobody gets my microphone. No. Just checking in. What up? But what's happening, DJ Valentino? Willie Will, what is up? Hope you are having a good month. I am rocking and rolling, baby. You know, after October, there ain't nothing. Yeah, DJ Willie Will, hit me up on Instagram and stuff. I may have some stuff for you here because it's crazy the rest of the year. All right, so let me make sure I go back to my notes. Boom. Hold on 1 second. Let me get my notes here. I'm trying to make sure I stay on task and on time. I promise you I'm staying on time. There we go. All right. Here we go. All right. So, one of the last things I want to talk about before I open up the floor to you guys is I want to talk about music. Last week I was supposed to talk about the new DJ Khaled that came out. I was trying to see if there was any songs and stuff on there that are worthy of playing and stuff like that, but I didn't really find anything that can be played at a wedding. So I wanted to give you guys some more wedding tracks. But DJ Khaled, he's got a decent CD. I say CD. Nobody uses CD anymore. He's got a decent new album and stuff that's out. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, please take a chance to listen to it. But here's some of the stuff that I am playing. Super Freaky Girl and Nicki Minaj. You can do a monster. I found a version that kind of comes in. Kind of how Rick James version comes in, and if you can mix it well. Now I'm still playing around with it because I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna play that track, that Rick James first, and then let it blend in the Super Freaky Girl. This track right here is definitely taking off. People know this track. People have been asking about it, but I've just been kind of coming in it cold. Because I haven't blended it well yet. I haven't found my blend that I want to do with it yet, but I'm working on it, and I'll let you guys know on the show and stuff what I find, if I can put something together and stuff with it. But yeah, Super Freaky Girl by Nicki Minaj is a great track to play, and some of my alternative rock that I'm playing is Weezer. I play Beverly Hills by them, and I have a version that is just chorus only because I don't really get into the whole song and stuff, and pretty much everybody just knows the chorus. Also, Panic at the Disco. Of course, I write sins, not tragedies and stuff. I have an intro version of that blends on the back of Truth Hurts by Lizzo that comes in really well. And you really don't even have to change the speed of the track. It usually blends pretty well, but like people can hear it and they can hear that beginning. It's like that do 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 do, and they automatically know what it is. And because it says, what a beautiful wedding in the song, people jump all over that. I mean, they love that song. And so I have a version that is an acapella out and stuff of it, so that when he sings the chorus the second time, I bring in Beverly Hills behind it because that beat matches with that pretty well. So as soon as he says, all right, sins in heaven you people ever heard of, and all that stuff, I'm playing that doo doom, doo doom, doo doom, and they blend really well. So that's how I kind of do some of my alternative rock. I've got one more that I add to it here, and that's the All American Rejects. I add oh gosh, I forgot what song it is that I add to it. If you know what song I'm trying to think of, it's just the most popular song version of them. I add that song in as well. But that kind of handles my alternative rock. It gets a lot of people singing. It gets a lot of people dancing, jumping up and down, and then you can come right back out of it into something. I mean, it just everything it works so smooth the way I have it set up. So I love that aspect and stuff of it. Let me see here. Take these down. All right. So the I think that, those are just some tracks that I feel like you should be playing and you should be using, because they are just they're not universal, but they are definitely some bangers to play at some certain types of weddings. And most of the ones that I do are usually close to about the same type. I mean, you can't do it at all of them, but they're usually close to about the same type. So you should definitely be thinking and playing these tracks and stuff on here as much as possible, because people love them. All right, last thing I had on here before I turn it over to you guys is I had this post. Now this is I believe it was DJ Red Alert posted this on his IG, and I thought it was a great post. A lot of you kind of hit me up on IG and asked if you could reuse it. I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. I got it from somebody too. It says DJing isn't just DJing. It's not just playing some records or MP3s. It's research, organizing, studying, preparing, obscene amounts of repetition. And just to stop right there, I don't think clients realize how important your DJ and stuff is and how much work goes into their event. I think people just think we just kind of come out, do the same thing over and over again, and that's just not the case. I mean, there's charging that goes on. There's research on finding music that goes on. There's finding new music that goes on. There's finding specific songs that you want that go on. There's, making sure you've got all the right equipment, making sure that you haven't left anything. There's so much time that, we get there 2-3 hours early before the event. All that time is spent making sure that your event looks, sounds, and feels correct. And you don't get that without the effort and time put in by most DJs. I don't know any DJ that can show up an hour before an event and be fully ready. Maybe even 30 minutes before an event and be fully ready. And not for a wedding. Not for a wedding. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Also, I don't think that there is a DJ who just has a Friday to put together a whole wedding. I don't think that's I really don't feel like that's possible. There's no way you can be truly fully ready in one day and stuff for a full out wedding. I mean, there's stuff that I do all through the course of a week. I mean, you'd be running yourself ragged. I mean, you couldn't do anything else that day if you were prepping for it. It's reading crowds, managing relationships, making sacrifices. All true. It's knowing you have a duty to listen and play new music. Just like I just said, introducing stuff like the Nicki Minaj, introducing Lizzo, all of Lizzo's new stuff. Lizzo's album is so good. It's really, really good. If you hadn't had a chance to listen to Lizzo's album, please do so. Educate your following. DJing isn't just DJing. It's so much more. It's love, adventure, excitement, pain, joy. All of that. It's a lot of sleepless nights, wondering whether or not you did everything right, whether or not you got everything together. And here's the part that nobody, the DJs understand, but I don't think the guests understand. Here's the part that I had to underline. Imagine walking into a room full of strangers, because every week we do, and making them move, reminisce, make them fall in love all over again. You have to win over a brand new crowd every single week that you DJ. Most people can't stand up in front of somebody and do a speech. We have to do this every single week. Let that sink in. DJing isn't just DJing. It's so much more. I could not. You just can't put that into better words. You just can't. It is freaking tastic. I love everything that I do. I love my job. So that's pretty much the show for me this week. I know I only left you guys like 9 minutes, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now. The broadcast and everything went well. I will tell you before I see any questions come through that next week we are going to try to have our first guest on here. I'm super pumped about it. If you want to know who that is, you make sure you follow me on IG. I will be well, let me make sure I put that up there. Follow me on IG. I will put that on my IG and advertise for that all week next week. And it's going to be the first time that I'm going to have a guest on. And I don't think he's been a guest on anything else. So I'm hoping I'm his first interview, as he will be mine. And so I'll be asking, you guys to please come through, check us out and stuff. We only need an hour of your time, and he's got some valuable information, man. He's been really dope and stuff so far. He answered, whether or not I can get him on there. He answered so quickly. Everything was just fantastic. So I'll be advertising that. Please go follow me on IG if you'd like to know who that is. Like I said, I will be posting that information on there. Also, this coming up weekend, I have one wedding, and it's supposed to be rained out. And I'm outside. And the only reason I say that is because I'm outside. So it just sucks. DJ Willie Will, I have a t-shirt that says I make people dance. What is your superpower? That is our superpower. We do make people dance. Man, we don't know them from anywhere. I mean, DJs make people dance and don't even know who they are. I think that's a little nuts. It's a little crazy. Borderline insane. I'll definitely be tuning in. Thanks again for dropping them gems. Hey, no worries. Appreciate you coming through, DJ G5. When I put together these shows and stuff like that, every time I come across something, I try to make sure that if it's a gem and stuff that I want to pass on to you guys, I try to make a note and stuff of it in the notes on my phone so that I can have, I want to make sure I remember it. And today I finally got everything that I wanted to say out, because last week I wasn't able to do so. All right, Xavier. Hello, DJ J Books. What's going on, Xavier? I have a party to go to, and my friend will be there. My friend will be the DJ for their wedding. Oh, okay, that's what's up. That is what's up. All right, guys. Any questions that you want to ask me? We got about 6 more minutes and stuff on here. And then I'll go ahead and take off and let you guys go enjoy some football. Is the game already on? How many of you guys watching football and stuff tonight? I don't even know if it's on yet. It probably is. Let me see. Any more questions? Yeah, see, it says the game was supposed to start at 7 on my TV, but I mean, right here on my phone, it literally says it's not going to come on to 8:20. So I think on Thursday night footballs, I should be good. I should have you guys done in enough time to where you can watch football. Xavier, how you doing? I'm good. I can't watch TV because my nephew has a TV. Well, yeah, use your phone, bro. You got to use all the technology around you. Use that phone. That's what I would do. All right, for a couple more minutes of stuff here. Let me know. I'm gonna let you know some housekeeping stuff real quick. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you use the link and everything in the description down below to follow Twisted Transitions, because that is this show's homepage on YouTube. And guys, I also think that I fixed Twitch. So after next week's interview that I have with my special guest, we are going to try to do Twisted Transitions for the show, and we're going to try to do Twitch for the show and put them on there. So I think I fixed it. Hopefully it works, but we're going to try it and stuff there. So make sure you use the link down below, give it a follow, because like I said, I've been wanting to move this show over to that, because it does, oh man, it impacts the numbers so crazy. But because I like doing this, I'd love coming on here with you guys. So we're going to continue to do this. I think I've been trying some different stuff as far as content and stuff out. I'm trying to put out more stuff on IG. IG is kind of where my focus and stuff is right now, trying to put out reels and more stuff for the business and all that stuff, so that I can take my focus and put it, back on YouTube and get back to showing you guys some stuff. Cause I've got some stuff just stashed right now. All that stuff is stashed. I think I got like 5 gig logs or something like that just stashed. So I need to get a chance to work on those, but it's going to be tough. These weeks coming up are all slammed every weekend until Christmas, guys, every weekend. What is your Twitch name, DJJ? Now, Xavier, my name is the same everywhere, son. Come on now. Same name everywhere. Let me show you. Watch this. Here's my Twitch name. Boom. DJJ Book. It's DJJ Book everywhere. Yeah, I'm just joking with you, Xavier. I'm just joking. Yeah, I try to keep everything universal so it's easy to find me. DJ Willie Will, a little tip for these young DJs: prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and that's my mindset for every wedding. Yep, I would definitely say so. I try to make sure that my mind and everything is prepared to win each wedding. Each wedding, I try to make sure that it is just ready, focused, and that's the only thing that is happening that day. So far, I haven't had anything to jump in the way of that, so hopefully it stays that way. All right, a couple more seconds here, a couple more minutes before we get out of here. Also, if you would like to listen to a couple of mixes here, I haven't had time to put out any new mixes and stuff as of late. I promise you I'm gonna try to get back on some of this stuff, but if you want to, you can follow me on Mixcloud as well. Got some mixes and stuff out there, just in case you just wanted some music to listen to. And I had an idea to try to record some of the sets from my weddings and maybe throw a couple up there, the ones that I know that's gonna warrant a lot of different type of music, and putting it on there. But that would be a long recording. Right now they're on there like an hour, but it's great for if you work out. If you guys go to the gym and stuff like that, the music that I have on there is great for when you guys work, if you work out and stuff like that. That's kind of like what I made it for initially, but it's great for that. All right, all right, so guys, we have come to the end. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. If you came here late, just remember we're here every Thursday at 7 p.m. You can turn on notifications on my channel. You can hit the link down below to go to Twisted Transitions. Turn on the notification for them, because like I said, I want to move the show over to Twisted Transitions and Twitch. But if you'll give it a follow and stuff down below, follow me on Twitch. And yeah, we're going to keep this thing rolling, man. We are back. It looks like everything's working with the signal. I don't know what happened last week, but we are back nonetheless. So you guys make sure you just absolutely slaughter your weddings. and stuff this weekend. Kill whatever gig you got, and we will talk to you next week. Next week, guys. See you then. Enjoy.